anything about donating, there's a button you can press below and donate if you want. But I just want to thank you again, and let's go into the kitchen and start cooking. Hi, welcome back to Maria's Kitchen. I am so excited to be here with you today. I have got one of my personal favorite foods. I've been having this since I was a young child, and we are making chilaquiles today. And it is a traditional Mexican breakfast, but by no means you can have it any time of the day, morning, noon, or night. It is delicious, and I will be right back to go over the ingredients with you. The very first thing you're going to need, of course, is going to be corn tortillas. And I'm going to make a 3 servings, so I'll be using 6 of them. And then I've got 2 types of cheese here. I've got the Colby Jack, and then I've got the queso fresco. And I've got shredded chicken here. We're going to make a lunch one. These are some of the condiments you'll need. I have diced onions, green onions, and my favorite, of course, the red chili seeds. And I'm going to make an egg to put on top of the enchiladas. You're going to need some oil, and I'm using Crisco pure vegetable oil. You want kind of a clear oil. And lastly, of course, we're going to need sour cream, or you can use Mexican crema, but I'm using sour cream today. And here we go. You're going to need this sauce here, which is on Maria's Kitchen. Here's what you will need for the enchilada sauce. You'll need 2 cups of chicken broth, and I have low sodium here. Now, if you don't want to use chicken, you can use vegetarian broth. And you'll need, my favorite chili powder, our family favorite. You'll need 2 tablespoons and a half. Here are the spices. You'll need a 1/4 teaspoon of each: black pepper, salt, oregano, and garlic powder. You'll need a little bit of water because it will thicken up at the very end. You'll need 2 tablespoons of lard. Now, if you don't want to use lard, you can use Crisco or another shortening of your choice. 1 tablespoon of unsalted real butter, not margarine. And then 2.5 tablespoons of flour, and that is it. The very first thing you're going to do is put your pan on low, and you're putting your 2 tablespoons of lard and the 1 tablespoon of unsalted real butter. You're going to let this melt just for a little bit, and we have it on low. As soon as it melts, we're going to put our flour in there, our 2.5 tablespoons of flour. We're letting this melt. And you're probably wondering, why is she putting butter in there? This is my own recipe, and I believe this real butter gives it more flavor. Now it's all melted, so let's put the flour in, and we're keeping it on a low. We want to get this all cooked well. We want to get it browned, lightly browned. Stir it, keep stirring it, because we don't want it to clump. We want it to be nice and smooth. So we're going to let this cook for maybe, 30 seconds. You don't want to burn it, so you're keeping it on low. We're going to cook this flour off, and it's going to make a wonderful, tasty enchilada sauce. So it's been about 40 seconds, and it looks nice and brown. I still have it on a low. We're going to put that chili powder in, and now we're going to stir it just till it's combined. I'm going to cook it just a little bit, maybe a few seconds, and look at how beautiful and rich and red. Next thing we're doing, it's going to go fast from here. We're going to put that 2 cups of chicken broth, pouring it in, all of it, and then we're pouring all of the spices in. And now we are going to raise it to about a medium, and we're going to keep stirring. Do not step away from the stove at this time. We've got to keep stirring it, and you're going to see this beautiful sauce thicken. So I'll be right back. We're going to let it simmer. So it's been about 2.5 minutes, close to 3, and I had it on high. So at this point, I could see it's already thickening. I'm going to let it just maybe go about another minute with a rolling boil, and then I'm going to lower it to simmer for about another 2 minutes. Then we're going to check for salt. Look how beautiful and red. It's so beautiful. So I'm back on, and I had it on a simmer for about 2.5 minutes. Now I'm going to check it to see if it needs salt. And this is what you want, a nice smooth sauce. And I'm going to taste it. And it needs a tiny bit more salt, so I'm going to add a dash. So you check your salt. I'm turning it off now. And as you turn it off, it could thicken. So just make sure you just add a little more water and it will be fine. It is ready for the chilaquiles. So the very first thing you're going to do is get your corn tortillas out, and I'm going to do 3 at a time, and I'm going to cut them into triangles. Now everybody does them different. You can cut them into squares, or you can cut them into like thin triangles. So I'm cutting them into thin triangles, and there they are. So the next thing, I want to show you another way. You can also cut them square. So either way you want to cut them is fine. So the next thing we're going to do is put some oil into our pan over here. So I put my pan on low. I'm going to put some oil in there, maybe about that much, just to cover the bottom. We're going to let it heat up just for a few seconds, and then we're going to start dropping in the corn tortillas. So I'm going to start just putting them in. Try to separate them the best you can. I mean, it's okay, but you're going to have to stay right here the whole time because you're going to need to be turning them over. We're going to get them to be a golden brown. So I'm just dropping them in, and this will take a few minutes, and we'll let them. Let's see if I can get them all in there. Maybe I'll save these. Let's see, we've got enough. So we're just going to let them get toasty brown, and we're going to keep an eye on them, and we'll be right back. So I flipped them once, and we're going to let them cook a little longer because we want them a little more golden brown. And so about another minute maybe. Make sure you get a Scott towel ready because we're going to take these right out and put them right there to drain. So they are all done. You see how nice and crispy, and you can hear the sound. They're a little bit crunchy. They're ready to come out. I'm going to just scoop them right onto the Scott towel there, and they're going to drain, and we'll just separate them, let them drain here, and we'll be back to put them together. I've got them all fried up here, all 6 tortillas. This is going to be about a 2 serving. I want to let you know that I have a pan on low, and I'm going to get about a cup of the enchilada sauce. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just toss everything in there, and we're going to let them soak. We're going to toss them and turn them around, and then they are going to be done, and then we're going to put it together. So let me get my tongs, and we'll get all these submerged just for about a minute or 2. So here they are. They're on a light little boil, a rolling boil. I have them on simmering. It was just going to take about 3 minutes. They're ready. Some of them are soft, some of them are a little crunchy. They're perfect. So we're going to slide this in half on 2 plates, and I'll show you how to put it together. So here it is. I've plated it up in 2 plates, and now we are going to put cheese. I'm going to put some Colby cheese on this one, and then I'm going to put my favorite, of course, is going to be some diced minced onions. And then I'm going to put, of course, you don't have to do this, but I'm putting chili seeds. This is how we used to eat it when I was younger. And then I'm going to slide the egg on. I made an over medium egg earlier. Now I know a lot of people put sunny side, but I can't eat a sunny side. So there is your first one. And now we're going to do this one. We're going to put some queso fresco, ooh, on this one. And then we're going to actually put some cubed chicken and make this kind of a lunch one. And then I'm going to go ahead and put some of these green scallions. And there you have a wonderful chilaquiles, a chicken one, and then we've got the one with the egg. This is the traditional one here. We'll be right back. I'm going to put some crema. So here they are. I'm going to try this one. You got to come close. And this is iconic here. This is what we wait for the egg to, look at that, ooh, to drizzle out. And then I'm going to get a big piece. I'm going to get a big piece, and I'm not going to let you see me eat it. Here it goes. I'm going to just pick it up, and look how beautiful this is. You've got to try it. You've got to make these chilaquiles, and thank you so much for spending time on the show with me, and I will be back with the scripture of the day. I walked out today, and I saw lots of leaves falling, and it's a new season. We are in autumn. He changes times and seasons. He removes kings, sets up kings. He gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to those who have no understanding. Thank you, God, that you give us wisdom and knowledge in this season. For everything, there's a season and a time for every matter under heaven. He makes everything beautiful in its time. Jesus is coming soon. In the same way, when you see these things, you know his return is very near, right at the door. Stay encouraged and stay focused. This is a new season. There's new things to come in this season. For still, keep the vision that God has given you. Await on it. It has an appointed time to happen. God will not lie, and it will not hasten. It will not be slow, though it seems slow. Wait for it. What you've been praying for will surely come to pass. It's a new season.